Hello, and welcome to this Pharos Cloud tutorial. Today we'll be covering how to manage a remote site. We'll cover the site modes, device and user management, basic permissions, and finally the site settings. When a new site is created, it starts in construction mode. This mode is free of charge and allows devices and users to be added to the site, but none of the additional features are enabled. There is no limit for how long a site can be in construction mode. Once the site is ready to go live, go to the Settings tab and click to activate site. Looking in the Devices tab, you can see we have no controllers in this site. Let's add one. We'll prepare the controller first. This is the built-in web interface of a Pharos controller accessed over the local network. Ensure the network settings are correct for the controller to reach the internet and connect to Pharos Cloud. In particular, check the gateway and name servers and check the controller time is set correctly. Back in the remote site in Pharos Cloud, click to add a device to the site. Provide a name for the device, anything to remind you what its purpose is. Click Submit and the device will be added to the site. At this point, what is called a logical device is added to the site. This logical device is a placeholder for a physical device to connect and associate with. A device key will be shown automatically. This key is a set of temporary credentials for the device to connect to cloud and a token to make the association with the logical device. Click to copy it to the clipboard. Return to the controller's built-in web interface and paste the key into the device key box, clicking to set the key as the final step. You can see cloud connection status in the top section of this pop-up. There's no need to keep hold of the key. The controller will also discard the key after it's connected for the first time. A key is valid for 7 days from its creation and should be considered confidential. Once connected, head back to the remote site in Pharos Cloud where the device is showing as online and is ready to be controlled and maintained. From this table, you can also remove an offline device from the site by selecting it in the device table and choosing to remove it from the menu bar. The logical device will immediately be delisted from the site. Devices cannot be recovered once removed. If a logical device is removed before a physical device is connected, the device key associated with the logical device becomes invalid and any physical device the key is applied to will be unable to connect. If new physical hardware is required to replace an old device, you can replace a device by selecting the device and clicking Replace on the menu bar. A new device key will be generated. Connect the new physical device to Pharos Cloud using this key as you would when adding a new device. Simply creating a new key does not affect the current online device. Next we'll look at managing users. To add a new user, go to the Users tab and enter the email of the person to be invited. They'll receive a special link inviting them to create an account and join the site. Links to join a site are valid for 7 days from creation. If the user's link expires, select them in the table and re-invite them from the menu bar. Be sure to ask users to check their junk or spam folders for this invitation email. If the email address is already associated with an account, then the user will be notified that they have been added to the site and won't have to sign up again. To remove a user from a site, select them and click Remove in the menu bar. The user will no longer be able to see the site in the My Sites section of Pharos Cloud. If the user who was removed had only been invited, then they will no longer be able to sign up using their invite link. User access levels are achieved with permissions. Granular permissions allow fine-tuning of the features of Pharos Cloud that each user has access to. Permissions are split into two main sections, Site and Devices. Each device can have its own set of permissions. Your ability to set permissions is determined by what set permissions you have. If you do not have permission to complete an action, a warning will be displayed. Site owners can always update permissions. Say this user should be able to add new users to this site. Simply expand the user row and enable Add for this user. If you're the site owner, click the parent node to grant all permissions in a section. A new user is granted the view permissions for Control Panel, Tasks, Users, and the ability to view the site itself. They will also be granted view permissions for each device in a site. Permissions can be copied between users by selecting their name at the top of the table. For more information on permissions, please see the dedicated tutorial later in this series. Let's explore the Settings tab. Here you can edit the site's primary contact, their email, and their phone number by clicking to Edit in line. Click the tick to confirm any changes. The Notes field can be edited in the same way and can contain any information required. Notifications will be covered in a separate video in this series. Set the site's location by finding its location on the map and clicking. Once you're happy with the location, make sure to click the checkmark for it to be set. The geo address gives a good indication of the site's location, but it doesn't need to be too accurate. This location sets the site's time zone and allows Pharos Cloud to calculate the sunrise and sunset times for schedules. In a new site, the map will default to the Pharos head office, but the location is not set until information is shown below the map. That's how to manage your site. For more information about specific features, such as tasks, schedulers, and the control panel, please see the deep dive videos available in this series. Or if you have any other questions, then please feel free to contact cloud@pharoscontrols.com.